after the procurement internship, I was lucky to get a spot down in the Milwaukee, down the hill from
Mhm.
corporate into the Milwaukee Brewery,
Mhm.
where I was a financial analyst for one of the four pillars of that business, right? So there's the brewing, the packaging, the shipping, and then everything else, right? The technical services.
Mhm.
So Milwaukee Brewery is known for the production of their own steam and a lot of their own process systems within the facility. It's one of the oldest in the country. And I was the finance lead for helping budget, manage, and move forward that pillar. So I cut my teeth real early on just diving in, doing things that, I'll call the unconventional finance person. I didn't want to sit behind my desk and just type Excel spreadsheets, to know the financials,
Mhm.
understand the operations, and vice versa. So how do we make sure that we're doing the right things on the floor that are either beneficial or you can show the value in the financials?
Mhm.
So it was a real good tool for me to start with, and it's just been a really robust process for me to build on in my career as that foundation. So that's the beginning. That's the start. My normal stints are 2 to 5 years. So I wouldn't actually say that's super frequent. To me, it's enough of saying my skill set is either maxed out or the next role for me wasn't the right move, and therefore I needed to gain my um, and attack my white spots. So throughout my career, it was always starting in finance and operations, and then I went into a capital planning role within Miller Brewing, where you're one of two people helping all of the engineers in the company put the new products in place across the network. Then I went into a sales finance role at a different organization where I got involved with marketing and sales engagements and you know going on sales calls with sales leaders. I didn't have that experience, but I knew I needed that to continue to gain and drive my awareness to business. Then I went into an M&A role, which was a short-lived role because of a reorganization in a business. And then I stepped back and said, "Oh my gosh, I've always been in large public corporations. Maybe I should go dabble in private equity." So I took 6 months and was like, I didn't have a role, and I wanted to figure out what I wanted to do, and this was an uncomfortable position, but I want to find a private equity role. I want to learn what private equity looks like and how they operate, so I can gain that awareness.
Mhm.
And I was there through COVID, right? The thing that upset every type of manufacturing business and the ups and downs that COVID was.
Mhm.
And we made material gains within that organization over an extremely challenging time. I took on incremental responsibilities there outside of just the financial FP&A. I took on operations views. I took on ownership of more integrated planning, which is kind of the foundation of my business now. And then after that private equity role, I said, I've got an opportunity. A colleague called me and said he's going to join a very new and burgeoning industry that not doesn't have a lot of history and
Mhm.
is in a unique time of dependent on the federal regulations that is cannabis. So I joined a cannabis business post COVID, and we helped scale that organization. And that's how do you professionalize and standardize an industry that likes to, for lack of better terms, fly by the seat of their pants because just it's just the way it was. It's the industry, right? And how do we
Yeah.
professionalize that?
Right.
And that's really the foundation over the shift from the corporate to the private equity to a brand new industry that's trying to grow. I take all that experience now and bundle it into my business, and that's really where helping the organizations that I help now are in one of those three stages. It's either a large established corporate, it's a private equity backed business, or it's a new industry or a new business that's trying to scale. And the process that I try to execute and implement for businesses drives that connectivity regardless of the type of business. And I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now with my organization if I didn't have all that experience. So that thread of continuity between all of it is now it's evident. But at the time it was just what's the right next step.